Never mind. So we are only 4 of us actually.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Bharti, incidentally, how many have registered?
75 have registered, sir. I am
Ah,
messaging them live link also. So
right now it is not even 10% of that.
yeah, I'm messaging them, chatting with them now.
Yeah, understandable. Looks like this is not a great right time.
Siesta time.
People normally come out of siesta and must have had their coffee by now. So the 3:30 was more difficult. I think the first couple of programs we had was at 3:30, not the open house. I had 2 other sessions earlier. They were at 3:30.
Bangalore is having nice weather, no? But
Oh, yeah.
eastern part of the country is very hot, very
Right.
humid and hot. So
Yeah,
people take a
Bangalore.
nap at this.
Thankfully, Bangalore is good, and it rains every evening. So
So
I'm.
because of the heat, people are taking a nap at this time after lunch nap.
Good evening, Jagmohan ji.
Today it is a sad day for all of us.
Yeah, KK.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, we read about that.
The morning got this sad news.
Very unfortunate thing that happened.
I was a huge fan of KK. I loved his songs.
Oh, very sad.
I loved the person too.
Excellent range he had.
Yeah.
I loved his songs.
Yeah.
He was my personal favorite. So all the more sad day today.
Very sad, very sad. He passed away in Calcutta, right?
The way he passed away, that is bad.
So he was
management. It seems
after finishing his
management
song,
only.
He was
singing today.
Yeah, he was doing some program, and then I think he went back.
After finishing, while going home, I mean his flat only, he collapsed.
No, he was in Kolkata doing some concerts for the past 2 days.
Yeah.
The last one was yesterday night at an auditorium. People they are saying the air conditioning was not working, and double the capacity. The hall was
full,
double packed. Yeah.
Double capacity was there. So it was very hot due to heat. Heart attack must have happened. I don't know.
Oh God.
Still post-mortem is going on.
Very sad here.
Very sad.
He is only 53, it seems.
Yeah, 53. No way. I mean, Kishore Kumar, Mohammed Rafi, Kishore Kumar, all they passed away in the 50s. Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yes. He sang very good songs.
Yeah.
Very good songs. Very popular songs.
Unique voice, no?
Yes.
Unique voice.
But I didn't know he was from Kerala. Today only I came to know.
Yeah, he is from Kerala.
Today only I came to know. I was thinking he's a Mumbaiker from Mumbai.
No, Mumbai he might have been settled, but he is from Kerala.
Sir, we have started the recording. We can start.
Okay. So good evening, Mr. Nair, Anita ji, Jagmohan, Sita, and of course Bharti. We are the 5 of us. 2 are from seniors today. So it is a very, very easy and free space for communication, as I always say. Open house is an open forum for all of us. So we can do it the way we want. I have not put any structure to it, nor there is an agenda. The only agenda is to make everybody talk and then enjoy ourselves. So attendance is not much. So just let the 5 of us punch. We can talk about. Huh?
Yeah.
No, there are 8 people.
नहीं उसमें तो सीनियर्स के 2 जन है ना और मैं 1 हूँ.
Okay.
So, I mean, as participants only, Mr. Nair, yourself, Anita ji, Jagmohan ji, Sita ji, and Bharti. Bharti
Ah.
ji, I must say. So only the five. But yeah, it's okay. Five of us also handful.
Okay.
Okay. The first point that comes to my mind for today's discussion. Today the schools have reopened here in Bangalore.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, some schools opened last week, but on June 1st, many of the schools have reopened today. So today I had the privilege of going and seeing of my grandson who was going to school for the first time. Because
Oh.
the last 2 years it has been all on Zoom, and prior to that he was in child school or whatever. That was time pass play school.
Play school.
So now genuinely has gone to junior KG or no senior KG. Yeah. So I was remembering some of the times of the school opening days for me. We have a lot of experience, I'm sure, as to how it was on the very first day, or maybe the very first day you went to school, way back in the 60s, or maybe some people 50s, depending on their age. So I went in the year 1960. 60 to 71, 11 years of schooling. So the first day I was thinking when I was looking at my grandson going to school, he is about 5.5 now. So in Bombay, typically the schools reopen anytime between June 8th and 14th, whichever is that Monday. Unlike now, it is opening on a Wednesday, it is opening on a Friday, kuch bhi hota hai, but those days it used to be either on 8th January, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and up to 14th. The moment it comes to 15th, it becomes 8th. So that is the way we used to have, and the schools used to close by April 12th or 13th. So by 14th, being in a South Indian school, it was a New Year day was 14th mostly. So we used to have a holiday on 14th, and the schools would start on around 8th or 14th June, between 8th and 14th, whichever is the Monday. The year when it did not open on a Monday for us was the year 1964. You know why? The year 1964, on 27th of May, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru passed away. And the 13th day happened to be 8th of June, which was a Monday. But that was the 13th day and we got an extra holiday. So that was a very happy week for us when you had to go to school only 4 days instead of 5 days. 5.5 days it used to be. So this happened but invariably Mumbai, it would rain. And as a first standard, because I didn't do any junior KG, senior KG, etc., straight away first standard. And what I found was that it was heavily raining. I have felt very happy to wear a new plastic raincoat and go to school. And it was pouring, but nevertheless, the school was there. But we were very sure in Bombay, at least about 2 to 3 days in the rainy season, the schools will not function because the road leading to the school would be flooded. But we would all go just to feel, what is the status. There will be people who will be returning from the school saying ki chutti hai, but we wanted to go and see what is the notice board saying. Oh, today the school will remain closed, and you feel happy that you can come back home and listen to Vivid Bharati and some good Hindi songs. That used to be the kind of time. And of course, the school days had a lot of fun, lot of masti, lot of marpeet, lot of punishments. So these are things that come to me as a first standard student. And as we grew and went along, as I recall when I went into class 8 from 7th, it was a new school. I mean, we had two schools. One was a smaller school, one was a bigger school. So I had to go to the bigger school from the 8th standard. So when I went into class 8, I found at least about 12 to 13 unknown faces. They were all detained students of the previous year. They were there to welcome us. So these days I don't hear any student getting detained in the same class. So imagine about 12, 13 boys who had failed in the class 8, and they were all repeaters at that point in time. and they were looking big with mustache and all, and we were all still, the boys, young boys. So these are some experiences I have, but enough of masti, enough of lafra, all those things come to my mind. So anyway, I don't want to share my own experience. I would rather listen to some of your experiences as as the school opened, whether it is for the first time or whether it is for the nth time, and maybe as you enter the college, how was the first day? Because it was a different life from the age of 16 when we started colleging. I can talk about it, but I would like any one of you to give your feelings as to a first standard kid or a whatever, and something like that. Anita ji, you have anything to say?
Yeah, but I don't remember so vividly as you have recalled your experience. I just remember that the first school my father took me, it used to be, I was in Delhi. We were living in Delhi. So it was a government school, municipal corporation school, maybe just next to our government accommodation. My father was in the Ministry of Defense. So we had those government accommodations. So this municipal corporation school used to be just just adjacent to our colony. So from the balcony, my parents could look at the school. Even I could see the playground and all that. So my first remembrance is I didn't like that school at all. A few days, my father took me to that school. He used to take me every day, just a few minutes walk, but I did not like it at all. That's something I remember. I still remember that feeling. It was not a good experience for me. So it lasted that school. I went to the school for maybe 10 or 15 days, maybe 2 weeks. That's all. Then my father took me to another school. It was an English medium school, which was called kindergarten school, but it had classes up to, I think, fifth or sixth standard. It was a tent school. And I remember just, it was a fantastic school. The principal, I still remember the principal. She was a lady who had come from, I think, UK or USA. A very fashionable lady, and we used to look at her. I have a very vivid remembrance of her. She used to wear, in those days, I went to school at the age of, I think, maybe five or 5.5. Till 5 years of age, I was studying at home. My mother used to teach me my language, my mother tongue, Bengali, and then a little bit of English that way. So I went to school at the age of 5, I think. And that school, I think I went uh, right after this municipal corporation school, which lasted for 15 days only. As that principal, that lady principal was so beautiful, and she was so fashionable. In those days, she used to wear those stiletto heels, glass ones, long painted nails and tip top, ekdam, a good sari or some, I think she used to wear a sari only. I remember in sari only. And she was such an attractive person. I mean, and the school was intense. It was a tented school. And like you said, Mumbai rains you recounted. So what used to happen, in Delhi also, whenever there was a heavy downpour, our school used to get closed, like you said. So we used to run home very happily. A rainy day, hai, rainy day, it's a rainy day, it's a rainy day. So because of rain, she will close down the school because obviously tent tha na, to pour water will
Yeah, water will seep
and
in.
all that. So she had to close down the school. But since you recounted the Mumbai rain, so all of a sudden that remembrance came back to me. Ki
Okay.
rain. But we used to love rains also in that school, because mushrooms came up. वो
Okay.
जो टेंट्स के कॉर्नर में जो जहां where you are sticking the corner of the tent, in
Ah,
those corners these mushrooms used to sprout up during rainy season, and it was a very new thing for us children. We were just, see, 5 or 6 year olds. So that mushroom, different colored mushrooms, sometimes white, sometimes gray, different shapes and sizes. And that was so exciting, for us. It was so good. Now it seems stupid. Now when I'm recalling it, it will sound so stupid. But for a 5-year-old, it's a new thing.
True.
See, the 5-year-old is discovering new things in life. So mushroom coming out of a tented school, school का tent में से निकल रहा है mushroom. It's a very novel thing. So, and we used to have a good time in school. That school I loved. That kindergarten school I loved. I stayed in that school till the last class. I think it was fifth or sixth standard. So
Oh,
I studied the whole way, and a lot of children. Then I shifted to Kendriya Vidyalaya, Central School. So a lot of my friends from that kindergarten school, we all shifted to Kendriya Vidyalaya. Since that school didn't have beyond fifth, I think fifth, yeah. Beyond fifth standard, that school didn't have anything. So we had to move to Kendriya Vidyalaya. But that remembrance is still very vivid, that tented school, that rainy season, rain,
yeah.
and that principal, most of all, that lady principal. We still, among our friends, no, I have a WhatsApp group with my school friends. We still, some of us are still together. We who studied in that kindergarten school, some of us are still there, and in that WhatsApp group, and we still recount how she looked and how she did her makeup on specific days, how she came attired in a nice sari with heels and everything. We still remember. She was such an attractive personality. After so many years, I don't think she will be alive by now. Must have passed away, but we still remember her. More than the
True,
school, we remember the principal.
true role model looks like.
Yeah. And during recess, we still remember that she used to, that bell hota hai na, chota wala.
Ganti.
During lunchtime and during end of one period, she will go around with that.
Okay.
Small campus, only I think hardly 10 or 12 tents were there. It was a small campus, and she will go around the whole campus jangling that.
Wow.
that memory stuck, something that. So
Yeah.
it was a nice school that way. That's all. I think Kendriya Vidyalaya was okay.
Was that only girls' school?
No, co-ed. I have all along been in co-ed only.
Okay.
My college was an all girls college.
But
That
Kendriya Vidyalaya didn't have any role model principal.
No, we had another role model principal in Kendriya Vidyalaya.
Okay.
He was we still remember him. All of us school children, all school friends, we still remember. His name was Mr. Pandey, and sorry, Mr. Taneja. He was a Punjabi, Mr. Taneja. He was a very good principal. So बहुत सारे principals तो मिले, but these two principals are etched in our memory, not just my memory, but all my school friends who are in that WhatsApp group together, we all remember these two principals. So they must have had something, that extra
Yeah.
X factor must have been there.
True.
Otherwise, after so many decades, we won't be remembering them still. Something was there, something extra was there. That what we call X factor.
X Factor. Yeah.
No, we call that, no. So we remember these two people.
Okay.
And apart from that, शैतानी वो तो मस्ती शैतानी तो स्कूल के बच्चे करते ही हैं.
वो तो होना ही है.
When we used to do first day in Kendriya Vidyalaya, I still remember first day, it was a new building. We got a new building when we were in 7th, I think. 7th, after the summer vacation, when we went to the school, it was a new building. So the floor एकदम polished था, and बच्चे बहुत खुश थे, and some of us, and we were gliding on the floor. It was so smooth and so much polish was there. We glided. We started gliding, tried to glide on the floor, and some of us fell down. It was so these are some of the things which everything is not there in the memory, but some things remain, like. So it was good. Schooling was, except that first school, my experience was good. Better than college. I loved my school. I didn't like my college that much.
All right.
I don't. But school was very enjoyable. We enjoyed our studies. We enjoyed our sports. I was not much into sports in school. So people are now very surprised when I'm talking about yoga and things, marathon and yoga and trekking and mountaineering, because I was just the opposite in school. I never used to do anything. I never used to run any race, not even those toffee race and jalebi race, you know, because once I tried doing that sack race, I fell down. So after that, I never attempted it. You remember the sack races?
Oh, yes, yes, we have had all that.
Ah,
Three-legged race, sack race, all those things we have
yeah,
had.
yeah, yeah. So I was not much of a sports person in school. It's just the opposite now. I don't know how it happened, but it's just the opposite now. So that's how it is.
You've spoken about your role model teacher. We have a teacher we all realize that she has been a role model for many. And she's 95 years old, and every time I go to Mumbai, I meet her.
Oh,
I
wow,
go to
that's
her
so
house
nice.
and meet her. And it is such a pleasure. And at 95, she remembers everything.
Oh,
It's amazing. Simply, her name is
amazing.
Kalavati Pai.
Ah,
And her son and me were classmates, so we have other reasons for to be in touch. So since her
okay.
son is in the US, whenever I go to Mumbai, one visit to her house is a mandatory thing for me, for all of
That's
us. I
good.
mean, as some of the students, we all go together. And
Mm-hmm.
she loves that. She spends time talking about her experiences, how she did B.Ed those days, वगैरह वगैरह. Anyway, I'll not take too much of time, but it is an amazing feeling. You know, when you meet your own teacher after so many years, and she's
And finding her with good faculties at the age of 95, that's
yes,
also
yes,
surprising,
it
no?
is the same house where she lived even then in the 60s.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Same house. It's an
Mm,
old building, but internally well maintained and developed, but externally it is the same old building.
okay. But very nice of you all to go and meet her.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very few people are doing it, no?
So we
Very
do
hot
school
to find.
reunions, no? School reunion. I'm part of that group which
Yeah.
handles the reunion across batches. So that is every December we do. Last 2 years, obviously, we couldn't do much, but otherwise, from 2012, I have been doing it. So we have 1932 onwards, people who have passed out have come and
Oh,
been part of it. So it is real, a different feeling that is.
which school was yours?
This is South Indian Education High School in Bombay.
Okay, okay, okay. Hmm. Good.
Yes, anyone else would like to talk about their first day in school? Nair sir or Sahani ji, Sridhar ji, Bharti ji, Lakshmi ji, Sita ji, बहुत जन है RKS. जगमोहन जी चलिए.
I think I spoke last time on first day on the school.
हाँ, sorry, say that again,
I
Sridhar.
studied. Beg your pardon?
Hey,
Last,
please go ahead.
last week when we had the open house, the subject was talk about your memories. So Sridharji talked about his first day in school.
Oh, really? Okay, okay. I was a shade late when I joined in.
Yeah. So when we
Yeah,
talked about memories, I said, "Hey, bachpan ki ho ya budhape ki ho, memory is memory."
Memories. No, today the trigger for me was my grandson's first day in school today. So
Oh,
that
okay.
triggered, and then I said, okay, let me.
Sometimes when you get on in years, what you did the first thing in the morning today, that itself can be a great memory.
Oh yeah, bilkul.
Mr. Lakshmi Narayan.
Hanji.
There was a
Mr.
person.
Lakshmi,
There was a
Mr.
person.
Lakshmi
There was a
Narayan.
person. There was a person who loved drinking, and he was asked, between Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease, what would
Oh,
you
I
prefer?
read this. Good one.
So he said, I would prefer Parkinson's because I don't mind spilling a few drops of whiskey rather than forgetting where the bottle
Where I
is.
have kept it.
Mr. Lakshmi Narayan.
Yes, sir.
I just heard you were from SIS, is it?
Yes, I am from SIS.
Which year did you pass out?
1971.
Okay. I passed out 62 SIS.
So you're my senior.
Yeah, I am.
I still remember what my English teacher used to tell. Much later, after I cleared all these things, and when I told him, sir, I passed out from this batch, he said, did they take you to the nearest hospital?
Passed out, you can never say.
Then I said, oh, I remember my English is wrong. He said, you never say passed out.
Correct.
Say passed away, but don't say passed out.
You can say I cleared my SSC in the year. Yes, Jagmohan ji, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
I just want to, when you were telling all this, in Delhi, our school starts on 15th of July every year. You know?
Okay, अच्छा.
Okay, as you said in June and all, but Delhi timings are 15th July fixed. You know, every year school
Yes.
will reopen on 15th of July. So we know, like my grandparents were at Jammu, so my mother was very fond of her parents. So we should spend maximum time at Jammu only, right? And then we come back. So we came to Delhi on 15th. We had to go, and for the school. My mother was not well, so I was not keen to go because I was very close to my mother. So then, you know, like all these people, my father said, no, you don't. This is the first day of the school, you must go. So anyway, I went to school. When I came back, so then there was an old lady who generally used to sit outside our house, you know. So I say, she looked at me, oh, school se aa gaya beta? मैंने कहा हाँ, वो तेरे बहन हुई है. So maybe my mother was expecting at that time, she was not well. So the people pushed me out of the house, you know. And then that's why I got my sister on 15th of July. So the date is always, you know, in my memory, that first day of school, and my sister was born on that day. And I was not keen to attend the school, and that's the way we got a small girl and good company. And that's
Lovely.
I thought I'll just, when you were talking about school, I thought of this thing, you know, and this school and all is fun. We had good time together. Like I was in a Lahore Montessori school, you know, that was a school run by Mr. Bhatia. S.N. Bhatia was our principal. And every time he'll come to school, you know, his pant is always going down. So he used to pulling his pant all the time. So we still remember his look and all, but it was a good fun. And we had very good time together. The school was in Karol Bagh, in a very, you know, like now that has become a hub of activities.
Yeah.
They have closed the school. Now Karol Bagh has become such a big thing there. We cannot imagine that we can have such a big school there, you know. Now all these shops have come up the same location. So that's our memories we have got for the school, sir. Thank you.
Now that you are telling Jagmohan ji, now I remember that name, Lahore Montessori School. Yes. Ajmal Khan Road or
Yes,
Jhande
yes.
Wala?
No, Ajmal Khan Road. Ajmal Khan Road.
Ajmal Khan Road. Yes, now I remember that name.
So I studied in that
South
school.
Delhi. We were in South Delhi, but still I have heard that it's ringing a bell now that you mentioned that school name.
Jhande Wala extension mein, do you still have that jalebi and garam doodh shop?
I don't know. I don't remember. I make an annual visit now to Delhi. So annual visits mein nahi ho pata hai time jalebi khane ke liye. You spend all the time.
Extension. The shop was called Ghante Wala's Garam Doodh or Jalebi.
No, that is at Dariba. Dariba Kalan, there is a Jalebi.
Dariba Kalan.
Dariba Kalan is a corner shop. In fact, that's Mr. Jan studied together. We were in the same school. I studied with him. And he is having that shop still date. Now his son is running the shop. And the shop is still there. Now they have added some samosas also. Jalebi, samosa.
Jalebi.
Logical extension.
That used to be a very big jalebi they used to have. Pure ghee. That's still they are maintaining the tradition.
But Delhi is great for street food, you know.
Oh, you bet.
Delhi street food is great. I don't think any other city has such great street food.
Red Fort ke samne you had that, you know, parathe wale gali.
I have had parathe. Those parathes are awesome. Awesome. They're having 120 varieties of paratha.
Juice shop there.
Oh.
The 120.
Gulshan Kumar used to run a juice shop there, and I have got Evening in Paris tape from him at that time.
Oh, I normally go to Delhi and be in habitat at the Lodhi Road or Lodha Road, whatever.
Lodhi Road.
Next time you go to Chandni Chowk.
That is where I park myself. One day there, and the next day we are back. So
the Delhi I'm talking about is more than 40 years old. We used to go from Plaza Cinema by that Fatfati, you know, to Red Fort.
It's called Fatfat, huh?
And there you walk across that paratha wale gali. There the fellow used to say, "Ek rupe mein ek parathe and side dish." And if you can prove that the food is not made out of desi ghee, he says, 1000 rupees hum aapko inam dete.
Wow.
No, it is still made in desi ghee.
Oh, this is still made in desi.
Yeah. They are maintaining the quality.
And in winter, it used to be garam doodh. In summer, they'll give you thanda, lassi.
Yeah.
But this doodh and jalebi is the staple breakfast for all North Indian states, you know.
Standard.
In the UP and Himachal, everywhere it is doodh jalebi in the morning.
Even Indore, I found that in Indore also.
Doodh jalebi?
They also have poha in Indore.
Poha. Indori
poha.
poha is very famous, yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sita ji, would you like to share your thoughts?
Unlike, I was a little hesitant because unlike all of you have shared, I have something negative turned positive kind of a memory.
Can you switch on your video also?
Oh, I'm sorry. On the second day, I think, first day, I just casually went to school. It was a school which was in the locality. And then people put me there. My parents put me there because I could walk it up. And then the second day, they said, no, do some homework and go. The first day, the teacher asked us to write, alphabet on one side. We had those slates, right? Those graphite thing. So you had to write 1 to 10 on one side, numbers, and on the other side, you're supposed to write A to Z. So yeah, I tried. And then I didn't want to compromise on the playtime because evenings is when we were supposed to do the homework. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I forgot completely about it. Next morning, before going to school, hurriedly I finished the work. And I was carrying the slate in my hand and going to school, and it started raining.
Oh.
And we used to use those, the erasable kind of pencil.
Slate pencil.
And then one side of it got wiped out completely. Not even traces. The ABCD got, all the alphabet were erased. The downside was still there. So I went to school, and then I showed the teacher. She said, where are your alphabet? I said, I wrote them. They got erased. I got beaten. She hit me on the back. She hit me on the back and said, see, you didn't do the homework and you're lying. So she asked me to go and stand in the corner. So I was so cheesed off. See, after telling her the truth, she's not believing me. And then I showed her the other side. I have done one. This side is erased. She said, no, you're lying. And then she made me stand. After a couple of days, we were supposed to rehearse for Republic Day. All the songs and dances, everything. And then they came up with the idea, somebody is ready to sing Vande Mataram, come along. And I said, yes, I can sing. She was in charge, actually. She was in charge of those extracurricular activities. And she said, can you sing? With a very stern voice and things like that. I said, yes, very timidly. I was very timid. I said, yes, I can sing. And as it is, I was beaten up. I was even more scared. So I went to her. I turned my back to her, and then I sang. And then completely, her expression changed completely. She said, at such a small age, you are singing so well in Sur and Tal. You will do the lead. You will do the lead. I was so angry with her. I didn't know how to say, yesterday you beat me up. Today you want me to sing. And then, yes, she took me to the committee and to the principal and said, she's singing well. She's a new student. So we will put her as the lead singer to begin the program, Vande Mataram. I sang, and then there was a chief guest from, I think, one of those government offices. I don't even remember who he was. Since that day till I left school in grade 10, no matter who came, who could sing well, I always sang for all occasions Vande Mataram in my school.
Wow.
I was chosen. Yeah, I was chosen, and the whole perception of me changed by the teacher. She said, no, I know, I punished you. Although she didn't acknowledge it in so many words. She said, yeah, I know, you do your homework also. Now I believe you. So that was a big for me. Yes. As for school, yes, that teacher I remember. And there was one teacher who taught how to sing. She was a math teacher. All at break times, she would prepare me for the competitions, music competitions. And year after year, I won.
Oh.
I won because I was supposed to sing private songs. I didn't know the private songs. So she would teach me private songs. And then year after year, literally, I'm not exaggerating, 5 years in a row, I got the first prize. So when I came to the floor, they would say, no, Maidan is kaya. So that amount of, so yes, that's a positive and a negative memory. Yes.
Good.
I think the other children competed for the second and third prizes.
Right.
Automatically, by default.
I believe it happened to Mannade that he was disqualified from singing because always he was the first. So he was disqualified from competition. At one point.
Sometimes you have to play the trick. The good singer, you make him a judge.
Best idea.
Okay, you're giving me ideas actually.
Yeah. In fact, Lex, what we did last week, she gave us such a fantastic inputs in music that Seniors today is going to invite Sita ji to give us
Oh, thank you. Such an
inputs
honor.
on
Thank you.
music and things like that. So shortly, Seniors
We'll
today
see
will
that
be
also.
here and we'll be
I had to unfortunately miss it last week. So good.
we'll be listening to her on some aspects which she knows very well.
Great. Sounds good.
I'm sure people will have lots of things to say about it. This was only a passing thought that I put on paper as a research paper, and I presented it. So I just shared it with the rest of the group.
Okay.
I'm sure people have lots of things to say about it. This was way back, say 15 years ago. So things have changed. So people would have come across lots of, new findings. Yes, I'll be glad to share. It'll be my honor.
Great. Tamban Nair, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Tamban Nair, sir, I heard a lot of your songs on Smule. Bahut badhiya hai.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I sing Mukesh songs usually. And are you hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And although we hail from different lands,
Uh-huh.
we shall have all the sky and sun.
This is Muhammad Rafi.
Friends, the world is one.
Yeah.
Who sang it?
This is Muhammad Rafi one.
Tamban Nair sang it.
Yeah.
There's also an English, Hum Kale Hai To also he sang it.
Kale Hai To is there.
I love is a beautiful, beautiful dream.
Dreams come true. I love her, love her, love her.
So will you.
The she I love is a beautiful, beautiful dreams come true.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So what would you like to share with us with respect to your recalls? Of first day in school.
It's forgotten days, but I always respected my teachers, and I have highest regards for all the teachers.
No, that is now. I'm asking about the time you were a student. Did you respect them or did like them?
Pardon?
During your school days, did you like your teachers or you didn't?
Yeah, I liked every teacher.
You are a good boy.
I liked.
You are a good boy material then.
Not a single teacher I disliked. For kind information.
None of us liked our physical instructors, no?
Physical instructors, of course, they were a little bit strict.
Little bit, nahi yaar, haath mein dande leke marte the.
No, I liked my PT teacher. Although I was not into sports, but he was a very handsome guy.
Oh.
All the girls in the school were his fans,
Oh.
We simply loved him.
Unfortunately, we guys did not have beautiful physical instruction teachers. We are only guys with mustache and stick in hand. So
no, even this person always had a stick in his hand, and he used to cane the boys.
Ooh.
But
the girls loved it. No wonder.
We still remember his name also, Mr. Jackson. He was very handsome. And his wife was equally beautiful.
Wow. Acha hua koi Bhagat Singh.
Anna madam is always talking about the beauties only.
Acha hua one of the student was not Bhagat Singh, varna goli maar deta.
Nairji said something.
Yeah, Nairji, continue, please.
You are talking, all about beautiful things.
Yeah.
Life is all about beautiful things only.
Life is beautiful.
Beautiful things.
There is a movie in Malayalam. Life is beautiful.
Why remember the ugly? Why remember the ugly? You remember the beautiful things only.
Yeah. Remember the beautiful.
Right. Madam, I am 100% supporting you.
Yeah. Remember only the beautiful things.
Yeah. And some people may say that beauty is only skin deep.
Oh, sab nahi hai. Sab beauty is all deep. After the age of 60, it goes inside.
Yeah.
It is beauty without cruelty.
Right.
After 60, your beauty goes inside.
Yeah.
Very right.
Madam Anna, you remind me of my student days where I had Anida Bose, great granddaughter of Subhash Chandra Bose.
Arey wah.
Oh, my
Bangalore.
father named me after her only.
Oh,
Is it
arey wah.
true?
I got named by my father because of Subhash Chandra. No, she was Netaji's daughter,
What a
Daughter.
coincidence,
not
huh? Madam.
granddaughter, daughter of
Not
Netaji.
daughter only. Huh?
Daughter only. My
And,
father was a great fan of Netaji because
Arey
he
wah,
was
kya baat.
into freedom. He
this
was
was-
somewhat
I mean,
into freedom struggle in those days, in his student days in Kolkata.
Oh,
So
oh.
he was since he was a huge fan of Netaji, when his daughter got born, he had decided then my daughter will be named Anita.
Arey wah.
So
So nice.
that's how I got my name.
that I was
Anita
in,
ji, you are from Bengal, Anita ji?
Yeah,
Acha.
but brought
yes.
up in Delhi. Never lived in Bengal.
I was born, brought up, educated in Kolkata.
Oh, okay, just the
all are
opposite.
in,
And
That's
lived,
how you talk about.
lived for 3-4 years in Delhi.
Okay, that's how you talk about Kolkata Adda and all that.
Yeah,
Now
that's
I
right.
can recall. Yes, yes. Kolkata is famous for those addas, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
কলকাতা আর আড্ডা নেই মানে ওটা মানে জীবন নেই
জীবন নেই, চার আড্ডা।
আড্ডা চা আড্ডা
Cha
সিঙ্গাড়া
also. Cha Shingara goes along with adda, you know.
আড্ডা
Rock
সিঙ্গাড়া
Baji, it's not adda, it's called Rock Baji. In
রক
those
বাজি
days, it used to be called Rock Baji.
রক বাজি
And
ডিসকাস
many
মোহন
movies
বাগান
got
ইস্ট বেঙ্গল
made, you know, many movies got made in Bengali based on that Rock Baji. One of the
Yes.
famous movies, you had that song, you know, that Hindi also it was
yeah yeah
remade.
कोई होता जिसको अपना
Yes, that movie was based on
Apanjan.
Rock Baji only.
अपनजन
मेरे अपने
Apanjan.
अपनजन with Shamir Bhanjat became the
You
popular
know better than me, yes. That movie was about Rock Baj people
rock
only.
baji
but Samir Banja had a small important role in Goody.
he had a, but he introduced in Apanjan as that street
Apanjan,
corner
yeah.
street
He
corner
was-
So
dada
what was he, whether Vinod Khanna or Shatrughan Sinha?
he played Shatrughan Sinha's role
Okay.
in fact Shatrughan Sinha played Samit Bhanja's role
Subsequently,
Then
yeah.
one more movie was there, Wagon Breaker.
Wagon Breaker yeah Rudra Chaya
There is Wagon Breaker also.
Uttam Kumar played Wagon
No,
Breaker
I think
What was it in
only
Hindi?
was there.
there was a movie called Rudra Chaya in which Uttam Kumar played the role of a wagon breaker.
But
Was it
I
not
think it
remade
was
in
Samit
Hindi?
Manju.
There was a separate movie itself called Wagon Breaker.
Yes, yes.
But Wagon Breaker was made popular by now. People thought, how is Uttam Kumar, that chocolatey hero, going to play a wagon breaker? He played an amazing role. Oh my God.
Great actor. Okay, so we moved to Bharti ji. Would you like to say anything about your first day in school?
Yeah.
Aye,
How
Bharti ji, yes.
we started with the childhood. फिर खाने पे उतर आए, फिर म्यूजिक पे उतर आए, सब गाने लगे. Now again I start with my childhood.
Barabar.
Being
Full circle.
a Gujarati, I was put in kindergarten, Bal Mandir we say in Gujarati. From there on, I went to co-ed school, English medium, where my first day was okay. But what I am today and what I was then, it's east and west. I was a chatterbox that time. My, I was just wondering, so long I'm hearing so much and not speaking a word. But then in the first standard, I used to sit between two boys because I used to talk so much. And
The punishment listing.
yes, so that I won't talk to other girls and disturb the class. But I had a very, very good schooling. My principal was a freedom fighter, and she used to be very strict but very loving also. My school days were enjoyable. When I went to the 5th standard onwards, and I became serious in studies. Otherwise, अच्छा नहीं लगता था पढ़ना.
बिल्कुल अभी भी नहीं लगता.
और sports में बहुत रुचि थी. I used to lead my school in the march past for inter-school sports, and I had to take part in shot put and javelin, all those things. I enjoyed everything. Yeah, 8th standard also we were very naughty, very naughty. I really sometimes wonder how can a person be so different in after so many years. And no one will believe that we were naughty in the class, but nahi the, hum the. When someone used to put a prank or something, and the teacher used to get wild and ask us to leave the class, pura class chhod ke jata tha. All of us used to go and get out, you know. Yeah, that was the unity we had in standard 8. 9, 10 पढ़ाई की, pass हो गए, and still we remember the school days. College days तो थे ही अलग, but जो comparatively school में थी, वो college में नहीं हुई. I had only one single friend in college, and after that 4 साल नौकरी की कैनरा बैंक में, और then marriage. Life goes on, but it's very nice to remember my childhood and share everything with you all. Thank you so much.
I would like to show you a photograph. I don't know how clear it will be on the screen. Okay. These are people who studied with me 50 years ago. We are all still in touch.
Oh, how sweet.
See?
We are also having, Mohanji, we are also having a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, we
Even
meet also.
kindergarten. We are having a WhatsApp group with school friends, you know.
It's amazing.
Right from kindergarten days.
Amazing, yeah. We meet, in fact, the last Sunday,
are there.
22nd May section, at least about 10 of us met in Bangalore. Whenever we go to Bombay, again about 10-20 people will meet. And the school annual meet happens in the month of December. So it's really good. I mean,
So whenever I'm in Delhi, we always have a get together. Even they are keeping get togethers.
Yeah.
Most of them are still in Delhi.
There was a fun experience. I used to work in the Reserve Bank. It was a fun experience. I was AGM, and one of my classmates was a clerk in the same bank. So you should see him, you know, when the presence of all of this, he will say, "Sir." Then after everybody is going, "Sir, act short lagabo." That's how he will speak. Used to be fun, you know.
Yeah.
Getting in touch with people who are 50 years and oh my God.
No, it's amazing.
अभी भी बोलते हैं, you know, हमारे WhatsApp group में we converse all day long because some of us, some are in other time zones, so the conversation never ends. You know, people in USA and all that. So even at 3 a.m. we will see somebody speaking to somebody. You know, so it's always live. बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. And हम लोग बोलते हैं दोस्त कमीने होते हैं. We say clearly, कोई बदमाशी करता है, we say ये कमीना दोस्त है ये. दोस्त कमीने ही होते हैं. Bharti ji, nice to know. I am also from Canara Bank.
Oh, okay.
Lovely.
I retired in 2019 from Canara Bank.
Oh, nice to know that.
Yeah.
My classmates, when they saw me after 42 years in 2013, they were shocked. That how could I turn a new leaf and become a serious and responsible person? That was the image I had in the school. Very bad boy. But everything happens for good.
Yesterday in the same forum, I did a program of Kabir Das ke Dohe. Some of my classmates who studied with me in class 8 and 9 attended program. And later on, one fellow called me and said, "You are the only fellow who remembers the Doha even today."
Lakshmi Ravichandran ji.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Good
evening. Good evening to everybody.
Very good evening.
Yeah, very interesting. I've been listening to all of your down the memory lane. And it's quite fascinating. It's very vague because my father was in the central government service and he used to be transferred very often. And we used to skip, hop and skip, you know, jump to different places. So, but then later on we settled for at least 6.5 years in Chennai. where I used to attend a school called Vidyodaya, which was an excellent school. And till date, I remember that school because just brought some sweet and beautiful memories where I have actually learned what exactly an education should be. So, and moreover, like somebody was sharing about their singing experience, that's exactly where I was encouraged to sing. In the sense when I still remember this one incident when I was maybe in the 4th or 5th grade. We used to have this Indian music and Western music. So the Indian music teacher always used to pick me out and then ask me to sing, and which gave me a lot of motivation and encouragement. And one day, all of a sudden, she called me, Lakshmi, you should, I'm giving you some lyrics and you have to set tune to the 4 or 5 stanzas, which is about vegetables. And why a vegetable vendor, she has to pick all the vegetables and the vegetables should be telling about their own importance, why that vegetable should be picked. So you have to set tunes for all these vegetables, and it's going to be a literary society sort of a program, which we used to have every Wednesday. So I was totally flabbergasted. I said, how can I set tunes for all these? I used to sing, I used to be learning Carnatic music, but then like 4 or 5 rags were my favorite ones, but still I never could imagine myself setting tunes and composing tunes for the stanza. So I said, in any case, I'll take the challenge and I'll take to my parents. But unfortunately, that day happened. It so happened that my parents had to leave station for some family emergency, and I was stuck. I said, oh my God, in another week or so, my whole program is going to be there, and all the parents were invited for that. And quickly I decided, okay, let me do something. Let me choose only the 4 rag that I'm more comfortable. And then I told my teacher also, I don't know how to go about this. And she said, yeah, okay, if you're comfortable with 4 rag, why don't you start with that? So that was one motivation which actually made me compose all the 4 stanza on different rag. And then I told my parents, if they came back, you're supposed to come and watch this. But then they were really nervous. They said, what did you do? How did you do this? And then they came there. And finally, when I sang all the whole thing, and it was like a musical drama. So I had to sing, I'm the vegetable vendor, and I have to keep asking each and every vegetable, which one should be picked. So it went off very well. It became a huge hit. And then that was my actually the motivation, which actually gave me a lot of push, even in the later years, just how I should be encouraging people, encouraging students to bring the best in them. So that was one valuable lesson I learned from my music teacher.
Wonderful, wonderful. Composer.
Can you give us an example of a few vegetables?
If you ask me that, I don't remember a single thing, not even just one. In Kuntala Varali is one great rag that I was familiar with.
Sing it out for us.
Sorry?
Sing it out for us. Sell us possibly a banana.
Oh, yeah,
banana is not a vegetable. Oh,
no, I mean,
kacha banana.
Kacha kola.
Kacha kola, okay.
Kacha kola means varekai.
Varekai.
Yeah, kacha kela. But I'm sorry, Mr. Mohan, I don't even remember it. It was barely 9 years old. And later on, because in my own profession, I started composing so many songs, I totally, I've forgotten all, but only.
But which is your favorite ragam? Have you top 1 ragam?
Like last time, Mr. Mohan also asked me the same question. I said, Nalina Kanti is my favorite rag. Of course, yeah, correct. And also I like Desh and Hamsadhani. So they are all I mean, they are all actually pan-India rag, like
Yeah.
you can
Desh Hamsadvani.
Desh Hamsadvani.
and yeah, so you can relate to that rag a lot. So
Abogni.
that,
Same.
mm, that was my experience, because for the children also I have composed only in Hamsadvani, which is a beautiful rag, and it has a lilt on its own. So I always used to go for Hamsadvani.
Adapi.
Yeah, Vatapi. And even Lata Mangeshkar, and I understand she wanted to sing this Hamsadvani. She had sung one beautiful song, in which she had actually copied the, one phrase from Vatapi.
Oh.
Yeah. So she used to enjoy listening to Vatapi, and she wanted to sing in Hamsadvani one of the Bollywood songs. I, as of now, I don't remember which song she sang, but in one in Hamsadvani.
Okay. सुशील कुमार जी, आप कुछ पेश करना चाहेंगे अपने बचपन के वो ख्वाबों के दिन, किताबों के दिन, सवालों की रातें, जवाबों के दिन?
वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी.
Yes. There used to be a mathematics teacher when I was in class 7, Mr. Lalji Misra. So we had put his nickname as Lal Mirch. LM.
Like we did Madhukar Kapil as Madcap.
He used to punish the students frequently. So it was his pet dialogue. Whenever he explained any solution to the class, he used to ask, "Are you sure of it?" First, he used to ask that, "Have you understood whatever I said?" We used to say yes. Then he asked, "Are you sure of it?" Be sure of it. This was his style. So whenever he asked to explain some problem to a student, and sometimes he used to ask him, "Are you sure of it?" Then from the back benches, some other student used to complete his phrase, "Are you sure of it?" He is sure of it. And but the way of his explanation was very nice, and it created a lot of interest in mathematics. And our English teacher, he used to check the homework in a very strict manner. So one day during his class, he was checking the homework, and I had not completed the homework. So the answer had to be spoken by seeing the book, answer book. I was in the last bench, so I just opened my copybook and started speaking. I had not written the answer, but I pretended that yes, I have written the answer, and I started speaking. But at some stage, I got blocked, and he immediately understood that he has not written the answer in the copy. He came to examine my copy, and when he saw that I have not written the answer, he gave me a sound beating on my back, with his hand printed on my back. Such was his. So when I returned home, my grandmother saw me sobbing. She said, "What happened?" Then I pointed out at my back, and when she saw my back, she was so angry that the teacher punished you so badly. The next day, she went to the school. The principal called me, and she was already sitting in front of him. And she called the teacher. That, "How dare you punish my child so severely?" So on that, principal said me that he did not do it wrong, but the punishment was severe, which he should not have done. Okay. And from that day onwards, that he did not even ask me to answer any question or check my homework.
Relieved.
He was so scared.
अच्छा वो आपके ग्रैंडमदर ने उसको पीछे नहीं मारा है।
मानी उन्होंने उनको मानी अपने बातों से ही उसको ऐसा कर दिया था ना, उसको scared that he was मानी scared। उसके बाद में उन्होंने मेरे से कभी कोई questioning की नहीं उसके बाद में।
I think on another day we should only talk about what mischief one did and how one got punished.
Yes,
That was the only thing we did now.
So the exemplary one needs to be highlighted.
Yeah.
I think before we close, Govindji is there. So if Govindji has to say something, we would like to listen to that.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I'm a man of very few words. Love to listen to you guys. Having a great time listening to you all. As you know, I'm very much into music. Although I haven't formally learned music, I don't know nothing about classical music, ragas and all. But I listen to you guys very intently, try to learn something from you all. And it's really a pleasure being here.
You sing so well.
But you did go to school, right, Govindji?
Sorry?
You did have a first day in the school.
I beg your pardon?
आप स्कूल गए थे ना, पहले दिन कैसा था सुना दीजिए।
हाँ, स्कूल में आप पहले दिन क्या किए?
First day in school. First day in school, I remember I cried a lot. I think my mother left me in school and I don't know, I kept crying. But from the very next day, I started enjoying school.
Oh, you enjoyed school, good.
Yeah. But the first day experience wasn't all that great.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, I am certain that, I preferred not to be in the school, not to be in the college. I was more in the cinema halls. That was my later time, college days.
I remember those days. I used to bunk school and college and watch Shammi Kapoor movies, morning show.
Most convenient for school, the movie was Mera Naam Joker because it was from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock, the movie, and our school used to be 10 to 4.
I remember it was a very lengthy movie.
Yeah, it was a lengthy movie then. Now, of course, they have truncated it quite a bit. So that was convenient for me during school days. We used to leave our footwear and get out of the school. Saying for attendance, oh yeah, his footwear is here still, something like that. So no, I don't want to talk too much about what I did. If some of my classmates, luckily they are not there today, otherwise they would have exposed me more. So it's better this way. Now, one good thing I wanted to share with all of you is that season 8 is going to be starting from August 17th of this month. So I'm sure Archana will be sharing the details, the links and stuff like that for people to join in and be part of this journey of seniors. And we have a larger circle that can be formed over a period of time. So spread the word around. 17th of August, right, Archana? 17th August?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
17th August, we are starting season 8. So again, it will be, I'm sure there will be 6 different groups, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then again 24 of them, and then the 10 or 12 or whatever, depending on how they perform. So that is going to be interesting. I know Trilokji is there, but he mentioned that he is on the road, or so he will not be able to share. He can only listen. So I think more or less all of us have shared something or the other. I'm sure there is much more for all of us to share, but waqt ki pabandi, we have to honor and respect time. So we will kind of close it and let's see what is in store for us next week.
Tomorrow, what is the length of the song?
I think that 3 to 4 minutes, I guess. 3 to 4 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, that GD Sharma's program.
Yeah.
You mean singing live?
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow singing live is there?
Yeah, there are about 5 or 6 of them are singing.
A to Z karaoke sessions are there every Thursday. Yeah.
One session is over, one full, I would say that one full segment is over. This is the
Yeah,
second
that I
round.
attended. I had attended.
Yeah, we had attended it. So second one is on. I think now the sing-song session is starting from tomorrow.
Okay.
I think 5 of them will be singing tomorrow, so we can all join in. And we can listen to Tamban Nair singing for Raj Kapoor on his 34th death anniversary. Chalo. Thank you so much, all of you, and have a great evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you a
Thank
lot.
you. We too had a
Thank you
great
very much.
time.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
We had a great time.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.